You got it locked into New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1, New York.
That's right, kids. 3 o'clock and school is out. That's right. Get the heck out of here. Us adults have got some coffee and cigarettes to do. Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it may be to you. This is, of course, Coffee and Cigarettes at HTLA Radio 1 New York. Broadcasting live, of course, as always, from HTLA Studio 2 in the heart of Manhattan, the Big Apple. Forget about it. Yes, on this December 12th, of course, it's 37 degrees in Central Park right now, cloudy and, snowy out there. Yeah, not snowing actively right at the moment, but hey, it's definitely there. Lots of good stuff for you on the big show today, including, of course, the Week in Pictures. Yes, it's a new little segment I'm going to love to do on the old radio program here. Nothing like a Week in Pictures for all you listeners out there. Yeah, going to be a big show today. Got all kinds of neat stuff to go through, including, not the least of which, is President Obama's new landfill. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. So, welcome to Coffee and Cigarettes. Come on in, grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up. Here we go on the Friday Frappuccino. Oh, yeah. There you go. The big Hill Street Blues-like theme song for the old program right now. And hey, why not? Yeah. So welcome back, of course, to Coffee and Cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1 New York. And be sure to check out all of our kickin' stuff there over at HTLAradio1.com. Yeah. Make sure you do that, because it's you just gotta, that's what I'm saying right here, right now. Also, I gotta mention a bunch of other stuff, so here goes. HTLA Radio 1, of course, is proud to present to you Coffee and Cigarettes every day at 3 p.m. From Studio 2 in Manhattan, of course, with the partial sponsorship of Tim Hortons New York City. That's right. Now, with 8 locations in the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs, when you can't get into the old coffee shop here, the next logical place to go is Tim Hortons, New York City. So there you go. And what else here? Thank you. Yes, of course. Also like to mention that, Jenny is in the booth here with us this afternoon, and we always have the joy of having the one, the only film mentor extraordinaire, all the way from Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, sitting right now at Robin Webb's Mill Bay Studios, is the one, the only Mr. Louis Lawless. Are you there, sir?
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yes, there he is.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Absolutely.
If I go a half an hour, do I get $50,000?
Well, it's an hour show, and that's $100,000, and I don't even think, well, who makes that, you know?
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards, and I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and you have to give them a DVD now.
Really? I did not know that.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And, I'm assuming this is for a film. Do you actually have the film?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. Hey, you know what? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here as always. And, yeah, I hope you're enjoying some fine coffee and cigarettes where you are there in Mill Bay.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Okay, all right. With coffee and cigarettes, I'm assuming. Yep. Well, there you go. So what's first up on the big program? Well, there's a whole bunch of things. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff out here going on. But what do I start off with? What's the where do I go to start off here? Well, I guess we'll start off with the box store stories. Yes, you know, all those stores like Best Buy and, yes, the beloved American Walmart. Huh? Well, let's see. What's going on at Walmart today? Oh, a woman kills 3 for the last 85-inch 4K television. Yeah, let's just kill them all. Because, well, Well, a woman was arrested today for stabbing to death 3 shoppers at a Denver area Walmart in order to secure the store's last 85-inch Samsung 4K definition television, which was apparently on sale for an astonishing $299. According to local reports, Mary Jane Robbins, a married mother of 2, reported wrestling her competitors to the ground before fatally wounding them with sharpened Phillips head screwdriver. Yes. The victims' names have not yet been released, but are said to include a sociology student at the University of Northern Colorado, a high school chemistry teacher from Broomfield, and a young pregnant woman buying the TV for her brother. That's nice. Nothing says Christmas like stabbing the pregnant woman to death with a screwdriver for a 4K TV. Mm-hmm. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Robbins fled the scene and was apprehended at home hours later after police identified her license plates from the store's surveillance cameras of the parking lot. Although many are shocked by the senseless violence, the alleged perpetrator is unrepentant, Louis. There you go.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't.
I know. But,
it's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, yeah, because it's the nice human element, isn't it? It's that warm, fuzzy feeling you get with the blood of your victims spraying all over you, that warm mist of satisfaction knowing you've got that 85-inch 4K TV. Yeah, so she's not unrepentant. No, she says, "Of course I'd do it all over again," Robbins proclaimed from a Denver County jail cell. "My family is going to have that sweet TV for Christmas this year. No one can take that away from us, not even the police." Really? "Shopping isn't a hobby for me, it's war. So I have spent a little time behind bars. So what? I didn't punk out. I fought hard for my family, and I'm proud of that." I'm surprised. You watch. Samsung is going to pick this woman up to be her new poster kid. She says, "The crisp, clear picture quality of a 4K TV will make this all worthwhile, but I'm sure as hell not paying full price. I'll kill before I pay retail," she says. Oh, and here's the punchline, gang. Did you know that there isn't a 4K channel out there. No, there is no network television company anywhere on the planet pumping out a 4K signal. It's all HD 1080p. So, yeah, you enjoy that crisp, clear picture, lady, that you won't be getting because 4K isn't broadcast. Oops! Oh, well. Well, today's incident of shopping violence comes on the heels of what experts are describing as the deadliest Black Friday weekend ever. All across the country, people were dying at an increased pace. This year will drastically exceed last year's death totals for this holiday season. The figures we're looking at this Thanksgiving are incredible, unnerving, and this data just from last Thursday night. We only have to worry about Friday, said FBI Specialist Harry Carr. We had 6 people trampled to death at the Best Buy, 4 at a Bed & Bath & Beyond, the 2 fatal stabbings at Walmart, said Miami police spokesperson Sergeant James Loftus. I hear the Salvation Army Santa Claus was trampled to death also up in Cleveland. A little story I brought you yesterday for some of your holiday joy. Yeah. Inside a local Target, the crazed shoppers had lost what was the rest of their minds. We came outside and the Quiznos was burnt to the ground by angry shoppers. I think the Target had run out of some kind of toaster, said a shopper who wished not to be named because she was supposed to be bailing out her boyfriend who had punched another shopper over a set of soup ladles. There you go. A witness says an old lady beat a kid with her purse in order to get the last Hello Kitty toothbrush holder. That name is withheld because it's our CEO, Kay Taylor. According to Walmart, America's largest retailer, the company admits that more than 5,000 shoppers will be killed at their stores this holiday season, and tens of thousands likely wounded. We include people killed from Thanksgiving to Christmas, so it's not like they are all dying in one day. Besides, more kids will die making this junk than they do buying it. We see that as a positive, Walmart spokesperson Seth Ambrose said. The amputations are just part of life. Well, with 4K televisions having more than 3 times the clarity of old high-definition TVs, idiots, it was the hottest holiday item that normally retails for $8,499. Last year, in the same Walmart, a woman killed 3 shoppers over an Xbox One. The shopping plaza has vowed to increase security for the next shopping season and has admitted these stories are getting a little embarrassing. Oh, yes, you've got higher death counts than, well, I don't know, I guess the war in the Middle East. And, yeah. Well, now this news from Best Buy. Best Buy. Yeah. The electronics retailer is eating its tweet posted Thursday about a popular podcast serial which investigates the real-life murder of a 17-year-old Hamin Lee in Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, a suburb back in 1999. The tweet said, "We have everything you need unless you need a payphone. #serial. Best Buy wrote at 3:48 p.m. on December 11th, the day the penultimate episode of the true crime show was released. Several Twitter users reacted to the tweet was in poor taste, leading the company to post an apology an hour later that it lacked good judgment and doesn't reflect the values of our company. We are sorry." Yeah. Best Buy, or more especially the Best Buy parking lot, plays an integral role in the podcast and in the real-life murder case for which Lee's ex-boyfriend, Aiden Saeed, is serving life in prison, a prison sentence for committing. In the podcast, host Sarah Koenig spends substantial time addressing and questioning the trial's narrative, and Saeed strangled Lee in the Best Buy parking lot and then used a payphone to call for a ride. So that is how it all ties in. Offensive, according to some, funny, according to others. Conversation for sure, keeping that all going. Maybe the serial tweet was a Best Buy brand fail, but earlier this week, Sesame Street delighted fans of all ages with its perfectly placed tweet. Bert is so excited for his Thursday morning cereal. There you go.
Wait a minute, I got lost. H-T-L-A. Oh, H-T-L-A. Hell is that?
Again, that would be your career spiraling the drain. There we go. So, no idea what any of this is about? Well, you can check out serialpodcast.org and get filled in on all those grisly, joyous details. Yeah. And I guess we have to always kind of turn on a little racial thing, because that seems to be all that's out there these days. Oh, loving the blends today, Kate. Thank you. Yes, 4-year-old. A 4-year-old. Not even kidding here. A 4-year-old is upset because she says kids don't like her, quote, because I'm black. 4 years old. Yes. Now, yeah. She's in Missouri, of course. Yes. Child is... there's actually been a video released. Video of 4-year-old London James in tears, which actually has nearly 8 million views on Facebook. The Missouri child is crying on camera, saying that the girl doesn't want to be her friend because she's black. Tamika Merriweather says she recorded the video of her daughter on December 4th after she picked her up from Kids Play. Yes, what the hell is Kids Play? Well, no, I was being serious. What the hell is Kids Play? Well, I'm glad you asked, Crash, because Kids Play is a preschool and daycare facility in Manchester. Merriweather says she recorded the video of the girl to show teachers that she wasn't making this up. She says at least 3 teachers at the daycare saw the video. One of the teachers told me they observed the little girl playing and they asked her about London, and she told me the same thing, that she didn't like her because she was black, and that when they told me they were going to talk to her father, said Jamie Sims, executive director at Kids Play. Sims says the incident was not a reflection of the daycare. No, we'll take care of your kids even if they're black. For a fee. Yes, for a fee. Come on, that was funny. Okay, Sims says the daycare staff spoke with the parents of both children. The staff says that the father of the other child was shocked. She does not think the other child understood the context of her statement, and both children still go to the daycare. Sims hopes parents have conversations with their children to help them understand sensitive race-related issues and statements, and not to go burning businesses to the ground. I just think we all have to remember that our children are innocent, period. They hear things through the media. Really? You got 4-year-olds that watch news? Oh, there's a good one. Unfortunately, negative things at home. Yes, perhaps it could be the evil parents. Yes. I just think we all have to remember that the children are innocent. They hear things through the media and, unfortunately, negative things at home. I would just say that the parents need to really talk to their children. They need to explain to them that everyone is equal, she said. Parent of the other child could not be reached for comment. Yeah, there you go. Yes, we all need to be equal. There it is. And that's the official message today at Coffee and Cigarettes Friday Frappuccino, because I believe absolutely unequivocally 100% that there is not a chance in hell that we're all equal. Sorry. Right. There we go. That's the the big word there. Oh, and hey, is this more good news for Tim Hortons, perhaps? Could be. Dunkin' Donuts? Well, you're losing some outlets due to, racial reasons. But, Krispy Kreme hasn't reared its head in quite a while in the headlines, but hey, today I've dug up some Krispy Kreme news that got our attention. Yeah, free donuts. Oh, do you like getting things for free? Well, stick around, gang, because after this commercial break, you're gonna feel what it's like to get free donuts. Oh yeah.
You got it locked into New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shaved because you'll be too hot, and then you're like which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
The world is facing one of the biggest crises in the history of history. Girls are getting hotter and hotter. This is causing guys to lose their cool. It's happening everywhere. That's why the people at Axe have developed the new Axe Chill collection. It helps guys keep their cool before it's too late. Girls are getting hotter. Keep your cool with the new Chill collection from Axe.
Down your glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
When you have cable and your picture freezes, you get irritable. When you get irritable, your work suffers. When your work suffers, the wrong man is convicted. When the wrong man is convicted, he has time to think. When he has time to think, he thinks about you a lot. And when he thinks about you a lot, your house explodes. Don't have your house explode. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, that's right. There is only one. You are back for the second segment here of Coffee and Cigarettes today, the Friday Frappuccino. Yeah, it's the big show that likes to feed you lots of caffeine and load you up on nicotine and tell you about some pretty outrageous things. Yes, that's safe. Yes, we are live, of course, from HTLA Studio 2 in Manhattan. Still 37 degrees in Central Park at the moment, and not snowing, but looks like it will again. Damn it. In the booth with me today, the one, the only Jenny McCartney, and of course, Louis Lawless via satellite from Mill Bay Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. I love Louis, absolutely. And just wrapping up our last piece there on the last segment about the whole equality thing. I've actually got a little, well, it's not really a rant, it's an opinion. But it's hopefully some food for thought. How about that? Mm-hmm. So here goes. Now, if we are all equal, which clearly we're not, if we were all equal, we would all have rich parents, or we would all have poor parents. We would all have Chinese parents, or we would all have Irish parents, or we would all have Vietnamese parents, wouldn't we? Yeah, you see, it's those cultural differences, those socioeconomic differences that are the complete differences that absolutely define that we are not equal. And people in the last 20 years who have decided, well, that's not bloody fair. Well, guess what? Life isn't fair. It's not. You'll just have to do what we used to do in the 70s and 80s. Suck it. That's right. And because this is America, the land of opportunity, it's up to you. If you want a better life for yourself and your family, you have to go out there and make it. And if you can't go out there and make it, there's nobody to blame but you. So absolutely, do not sit there. from your high horse or your protest gang or your bandwagon burning down Dunkin' Donuts and try and tell me that we're all equal. It just doesn't fly. And yes, that pendulum is swinging one way here pretty heavily these days. But the thing with pendulums is they always swing back, ladies and gentlemen. And this equality thing is going to get steamrolled. So, if you're on that equality bandwagon, you just stop and think a little bit, and hopefully my words have made some sense to you, and you can carry on with your life in reality as opposed to in complete, total, and utter denial. And then maybe you might have a chance at actually focusing on something of importance, of value, and move on from there. There you go. There's the sum and total of my rant/opinion today. There it is, right there.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm here, actually. Well, before the break, I told you about some free Krispy Kremes. Oh? Yes, free donuts. Do you like donuts? Do you like getting things for free? Well, hey, today's your day, gang. Krispy Kreme is running a promotion called the Day of the Dozens. Today, for customers to receive a free dozen donuts with the purchase of a dozen donuts. And I know, because we're all equal, I don't need to explain to you how it works, but I'm going to explain to you how it works. Because some of you don't get that buy one, get one thing. It's a mystery. Yes. So how does it work, Crash? Well, you buy a dozen of the company's glazed donuts, and you can get a free dozen with a coupon. Coupon's a little piece of paper that says you can get something at a discount, or something indeed, like here, free. And just because these donuts don't cost anything today doesn't mean they are guilt-free. One original glazed is 190 calories, so you do the math before consuming too many. Krispy Kreme, however, has reported quarterly sales and profits Tuesday that missed Wall Street's marks. The stock has fallen a further 8% Wednesday, according to CNN Money. The news organization reports that it is the second year of earnings shortfalls for Krispy Kreme. Well, duh. Hello, that's because Tim Hortons is here. That's right. Tim Hortons is going to take America by storm. Mark my words. Every city, there will not be Islamic pillars of holy fire. Yeah, no, there won't. But I can guarantee you there will be Tim Hortons. Oh, yes, my lord. Yes. The promotion now is good at participating Krispy Kreme U.S. and Canadian locales, with countries including the Dominican Republic, Korea, Malaysia, Mexico, Philippines, Russia, United Kingdom, Taiwan, and India. And not to forget Thailand, Saudi Arabia, or Colombia, because you know the donuts are big in Colombia. Yes, they are. All that powdered sugar.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Oh, it's sweet, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
And has nothing to do with donuts. Thank you, Louis. All right. Well, let's go on to a little more fun stuff, huh? How about President Obama's new landfill? Yeah. Gotta love the new landfill. Yes, North Dakota is officially named a landfill after the president. Yes, and I guess entire first family, too. They've all got that lovely name. The state of North Dakota today has named a new publicly owned landfill after President Barack Obama. After an overwhelming 35-10 vote, the state Senate advanced a bill naming a 650-acre site currently under construction after the nation's 44th president. Governor Jack Dalrymple is expected to sign the measure into law Tuesday. And, of course, he did indeed do that, which is why I bring you the story now. When completed, the Barack Obama Memorial Landfill... You got that? That's the original name there. The Barack Obama Memorial. Well, he hasn't been killed yet. will be the largest waste disposal site in North Dakota and the 17th largest in the United States. It will be especially rich in toxic waste from the local petroleum and medical industries. Quote, "We wanted to do something to honor the president," end quote, says Republican State Senator Doug Perlman, who was the lead sponsor of the bill. "And I think a pile of garbage is a fitting tribute to Obama's presidency," he said. He went on to say, "We originally planned on naming it after a nearby mountain, but then some joking suggested we name it after Obama. I never thought an idea like that would actually pass, but I was pleasantly surprised." Yes, the president, of course, is hardly popular in North Dakota. The most recent poll in December 2013 found that Obama has a 25% approval rating in the state, although that figure may have fallen further in the years since. Yet even considering the political climate, the seasoned observers are surprised that 2 Democratic lawmakers voted for the bill's passage. "I supported Obama because I thought he would end the wars in the Middle East," says Allison Mitchell. "Yeah, you and me both, Allison. We both bought that load of horse pucky." A progressive Democrat from Grand Forks, but he decided to fight new wars abroad instead of fighting for the single-payer tax, health care, and jobs here at home, like he promised. Yeah. She says, "I guess people expected me to oppose his landfill thing because I'm a Democrat, but honestly, I don't really care anymore. Maybe this is a small act of protest will wake him up." Ordinary citizens in the state also seem to approve the government's choice. "I can't think of a better name," says Bill Blow, a plumber from Minot. "It's darkly colored and it's full of shit." That pretty much sums up Obama. There you go. So the Obama Memorial Landfill, ladies and gentlemen, isn't that awesome? I don't know. Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, did you order that? Yeah. It's okay.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
What?
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
You wanna help me get dressed? And what's my email address? What? I don't. Okay. All right. I don't know, but we're gonna move on from there. Yes, to some sad news. Yes. Apparently, and this got away from me. I didn't know about this, but a Fox News pundit had an aneurysm on live television debating Black Friday. Yeah. A Fox News pundit suffered a brain aneurysm while trying to argue both sides of the classic conservative conundrum regarding Thanksgiving/Black Friday, family or business. Yes, making her Fox debut on The Five, Dionne Davenport, Republican strategist and former Miss California pageant winner. Oh, she's got some political brains. Oh, yeah. I guess her political savvy is all in the chest. There we go. Well, she broke down as the panel debated the controversial Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, when stores mark the beginning of the Christmas shopping season and open early Friday on Thanksgiving Day and other major discounts. Quote, "I think it's disgraceful that these large corporations force their employees to work on Thanksgiving and Black Friday when they should be at home enjoying quality time with their families," argued pundit Bob Beckel. "Let the Chinamen and Japs and Dagos and Pakis work. Well, it's good that we're all equal here and not racist. Americans should have the day off." There we go. "I agree with Bob," Dionne Davenport said. "The American family is the cornerstone of our society." Yeah, not like anybody remembers that. "Americans are the hardest working people in the world, and it's offensive to think they can enjoy Thanksgiving without after worrying about going into work that night or early the next day and dealing with mobs of murderous customers." Yes, "I feel like I'm in Soviet Russia listening to this talk," host Greg Gutfield retorted. "The unemployment rate under President Obama is 75%, and these employees are whining and complaining that they have to work on a weekday. If Walmart or Target or Best Buy tells their employees to work on Thanksgiving and Black Friday, they should do it and be thankful for the job." "You're absolutely right," Greg Davenport said. "It frustrates me to no end that our culture rewards the lazy and selfish who look for any excuse not to work. What happened to the people like my parents who work 365 days a year, especially on holidays, and never complained about it? If your boss asks you to work on Thanksgiving, just do it and be happy. Well, I'm confused, Dion. Kimberly Guilfoyle responded. You said you agreed with Bob that families should be together on the holidays, yet then you agreed with Greg that they should be at work. Which is it? I believe there is a war on the family in this country, Davenport said. Well, amen, sister. Maybe you do have a little more brains down there in the chest. And Black Friday epitomizes this. Thanksgiving is time for family, and these hardworking people don't need extra stresses of dealing with mobs of shoppers, especially murderous ones, desperate for new video games or that 100-inch television. Let me be home with my family. But you agree with us that retailers should make their employees work on Thanksgiving and Black Friday, Dean Perino asked. Absolutely, says Davenport. As foam began to pour out of her mouth, these selfish employees should stop whining What? These employees should stop whining about not being with their families. I'm still confused, said Guilfoyle. God damn it, Kimberly, it's effing simple. Davenport sputtered. Family is the cornerstone of American society and the foundation of thriving communities, and they should be respected. Businesses are also the cornerstone of American society, the foundation of thriving communities, job creators. So when I hear people complain about working because they cannot be with their family, the cornerstone of America, Davenport then vomited and collapsed, prompting a sudden commercial break. She was taken to Mount Sinai Hospital and treated for her brain aneurysm. Fox News announced that, quote, The Five will return in January after the Christmas holiday, where surely there will be more deaths. Yes. It's hard reading dialogue from a show about somebody who's having an aneurysm because it doesn't make sense, and I got a little screwed up there, you know?
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yes, and, you know, hopefully it would be nominated for an Academy Award.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
But now, if we give you $25,000, you've got a shot at another one, don't you?
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards, and I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and you have to give them a DVD now.
Right, and what is the title of this film? You've never actually told us.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, I do. Absolutely. But what's the name of the film?
The music is fantastic. Oh, you got to hear it.
Okay, I'm going to try again. The name of the film, Louis.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing. I think it should be short and sweet.
Okay, well, moving on. Shoppers loot candle store for being closed on Thanksgiving. Ah, yes. Yes, shoppers in Bakersfield, California, looted local boutique candle store Candelez. Oh, I wonder if that's lesbian. Yesterday, after the store refused to open on Thanksgiving Day, the disgruntled shoppers became enraged. The boutique candle shop was closed and expressed their anger by looting the store and leaving only broken glass and empty shelves in their wake. Police say they caused over $100,000 in damage. Well, that's a lot of candles. The mayhem apparently began at 5 p.m. when the other box stores in the shopping center began opening with their Black Friday sales. Dave and Cindy Ferguson have operated Candelez store since 1992, and they have worked hard to keep the shop open during the tough times. The candle business is cyclical, and the last few years have been rough, but we're turning the corner now, said Dave Ferguson. Did people really need candles that badly? They couldn't wait till tomorrow? Since when have 20-something guys love candles so much? We aren't some big box store. It's a family business, and Thanksgiving is a family time, Cindy Ferguson said. We don't even sell anything cool. Our sale prices tomorrow are going to be huge, and yet people can't wait. It's not like we're selling heroin. Best Buy employee Tom Hitchens witnessed the destruction. He says it was crazy. First one person started smashing windows, the second and then the third, and before I knew it, hundreds of people were running around the parking lot with candles over their head like they had just won the lottery. I guess candles are the new hot item. Who knew? Well, the store's insurance company is said to have agreed to pay for 35% of the damage. Oh, really? That's nice of you. I think next month, when it's time to pay your premium, I'm going to pay you only 35% of it, you bastards. Yeah. Leaving the Ferguson family on the hook for a total loss of over $65,000. I'm not sure what we're going to do. $65,000 is our past 2 years' profit. The worst is that some shoppers felt the need to defecate on our register counter. I know some of them waited in line for days to shop, but that's just savagery. While the Ferguson family grieved over their losses, shoppers completely lacked remorse and criticized the shop for hours. And criticized the shop's hours. Why don't they take my damn money? This is America, for Christ's sake, shouted an angry shopper according to reports. How dare they don't sell me candles on Thanksgiving? Thanks for nothing. Shopper Ben Queen said it's disrespectful that they weren't open. We were here waiting in line and missing our families when they didn't have the decency to open their doors. I wasn't even here to buy candles, but that's not the point. Do they hate money? Do they hate America? The idea of being closed on Thanksgiving Day echoed throughout these shoppers. This is an American tradition, damn it, shouted one shopper. Reports of small skirmishes between shoppers were reported across the country. Nothing too serious, said a mall security guard. The real chaos begins tomorrow. Yeah. Candles. Yes. Light one up. There you go. Well, that's our second segment for Coffee and Cigarettes. It's Friday Frappuccino, so we'll be back in 2 minutes with more fun and games.
You got it locked into New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1, New York.
You walked into the hotel as a 5. But when she saw the room, you turned into a weird 7. When she saw the rooftop pool, you went to 11. You two should probably get a room. Oh, that's right. You already did. At Planet Earth's #1 accommodation site, Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Have I got a treat for you? New clean whipped cream foundation from CoverGirl. A delicious new recipe whipped up by Clean Makeup. They took their clean, fresh foundation, added a dash of hydration, then whipped it to smooth, matte perfection. Finally, a non-drying whip that wears like a dream. What a treat from Clean. New clean whipped cream from easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl.
Down your glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
When you have cable and can't record all your shows, you feel unhappy. When you feel unhappy, you go to happy hour. When you go to happy hour, you're up for anything. When you're up for anything, you head to a Turkish bathhouse. When you head to a Turkish bathhouse, you meet Charlie Sheen. And when you meet Charlie Sheen, you reenact scenes from Platoon with Charlie Sheen. Don't reenact scenes from Platoon with Charlie Sheen. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1.
That's right. We are back on this Friday afternoon. Yes. 3:45 in the afternoon here in New York. 37 degrees Central Park right now. Still cloudy, still icy cold. And, yeah, winter. There you go. Who knew? On this December 12th, 2014. And I am the coffee man himself, the one, the only. Yes, Chris Crash Jesus Taylor here with you in the studio with Jenny McCartney in the booth. And the one, the only Louis Lawless sitting over at Mill Bay Studios. Yes, completely, yeah, I think it's safe to say, completely in the dark about just about everything ever to do with the show. But that's okay. That's why he's here. Yeah. No, really. Well, that and because I couldn't get anybody else. So lots more fun coming your way this afternoon. Not to worry, not to worry. Christmas joy. I've even got some healthy cigarette news. Yes, I do. And it's official. The Roman Catholic today has announced that dogs do indeed go to heaven. There you go, huh? How about that? It's official, yep. Roman Catholics have absolutely stated now, the Pope has come out and said that the dogs go to heaven as well. No word on the cats or sheep or anything else. I've got some sheep on the show today too, but we'll definitely keep you informed as any new information breaks from the Roman Catholic Church about indeed any other kind of animal that's going to be accepted to Christ. Yes, we'll be sure to cover that for you. It's a great show today. It's nice and relaxed. There's no racism. There's no riots. Oh, wait. Yes, there was. And looting. Oh, never mind. Okay, sorry. I'm just completely in denial here. That's it. Yes, HTLA Radio 1 New York and Denial with your host, Crash Jesus. There you go. And, yeah, that's, Oh, I can't get enough of that coffee, baby. That's right. Louis, are you still awake, or did you go to sleep?
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Okay, good. Glad you're still with us, because we've got some serious stuff here, including proof that the caveman did indeed create fire. Yes. And as far as early milestones go, it's as big as they get. The invention of fire, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Well, more precisely, it's the mastering of fire. Now archaeologists studying an ancient cave in Israel says they've figured out when humans managed the feat. About 355,000 years ago. Yes, according to Science magazine. Researchers, thank you, plural, discovered that burned flints began showing up regularly around that time in Taban Cave near Haifa. Humans were using the cave as long as 500,000 years ago. Man, that's a rental agreement. 150,000 years in one place. That's a good track record. There's some credit rating there. Yeah. Yes, and apparently had the occasional fire back then, but they didn't learn to control it and start campfires at will for a while. While the earliest evidence of fire associated with hominid activities is much older, the data presented here indicates that fire became a regular and constant part of hominid behavioral adaptations in Eurasia only after 350,000 years ago, says Ron Scheimlitz of the University of Haifa, as quoted in the Science magazine. Both stories says the studies in the Journal of Human Evolution wouldn't end the debate. Other prominent archaeologists say that the controlled fire must have come along much earlier and played a role in the evolution of bigger brains and smaller guts. Yeah, I don't even know why we hit the drum there, but okay. Yes, the article has originally actually appeared on the Newser. Cave finds suggest when humans figured out fire. You can get more from Newser.com. There it is. Or is that Loser.com? Yeah. Yeah, what are you guys doing today? Oh, we're sitting around trying to figure out when man started a fire. Yeah, see? And instead of that, you should be here having some coffee, having some cigarettes, and, I don't know, some intelligent conversation, huh?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
If someone were to give you $25,000, Louis, you would be dangerous. And you know what they say about power?
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day.
Yeah.
We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Right. And if you had that, look out, man.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes. Yes.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that's okay. But now on to more important news, like the Pope Francis saying that dogs now can officially go to heaven. Spokesman for Disney International said, "Yeah, more profits coming." And Pope Francis continues to show he's anything but traditional. During a recent public appearance, Francis comforted. Man, I can't talk today. Oh, I've got a reason today. It's Friday. Yes, he comforted a boy. I wonder how Pope Francis comforted the boy. I hope it doesn't say here. Yes. He comforted a boy whose dog had died, noting, quote, "One day we will see our animals again in the eternity of Christ. Paradise is open to all of God's creatures." Okay, see, that's bad reporting. The headline says that he okays dogs to go to heaven. He said nothing about the other animals. And I did say before the break that we were going to keep you up to date and in the loop as soon as, any other of God's creatures were okayed to paradise. And, well, now there it is, I guess. We've done our job. Yes, officially the Pope says all animals go to heaven. Yes, all creatures. Oh, okay. I guess, does that mean aliens and Predator? They go to heaven too? Yeah? Okay. Whatever. Theologians say Francis, who took his papal name from the patron saint of animals, Saint Francis of Assisi, What? was only speaking conversationally. But the remark is being seen by some as a reversal of conservative Catholic theology, which states that because they are soulless, animals can't go to heaven, the New York Times reported. In 1990, Pope John Paul II, my favorite pope, he was kicking, said that animals have souls, but his successor, Pope Benedict, yes, the one who looked like the evil emperor on Star Wars, yes, gave a 2008 sermon that seemed to say the opposite. Well, that's not the first time they've had opposing popes, have they? Opposing popes. That's a good idea for some bookends, yeah. Francis's comment has now sparked a new debate on the subject worldwide, and the Humane Society says it's been flooded with emails. If Francis does in fact believe that animals have souls, then we ought to be seriously considering how we're treating them, our rep says. We have to admit that these are sentient beings, and they mean something to God. Well, you know what that means, kids. That means, yes, all those holy terrorist warriors out there are going to start blowing up dogs and cats. Yes, and that's right. PETA is also running with Francis's remarks, suggesting Catholics should move towards a vegan lifestyle. Yes, animal souls aside, a recent Pew survey finds that Francis has a 60% approval rating worldwide and a 78% approval rating in the U.S., almost 3 times that of President Obama. China may be growing fond of the pontiff, too, considering he reportedly refused a meeting with the Dalai Lama because the Dalai Lama reportedly said, quote, "It might create inconveniences," the Times reported. Yes, there you go. So, all dogs go to heaven, and apparently everything else, too. And that's good, because our next story today on Coffee and Cigarettes, next up is the lost sheep. And no, I'm not talking about you listeners, no. No, there was a sheep found wandering in the streets in a Christmas sweater. A Christmas sweater. Yes, the sheep was reunited with its family today after it was found wandering in the streets of Omaha wearing a Christmas sweater. No, really, you heard that right. Yes. And come on, only in Omaha. There you go. Yes, the sheep was found wandering the streets of Omaha wearing a Christmas sweater, and it was eventually reunited. But before it posed also for pictures, that attracted the attention of the internet, of course, because
internet drooling moron.
Nebraska Humane Society spokeswoman Pam Wise says someone reclaimed the sheep that they named Gage on Tuesday evening. Yes, she wrote on her Twitter, "We're happy to report that Gage, the hashtag Christmas sheep, has been reunited with his family." Wise says the owner doesn't know how Gage got loose. The owner learned about his whereabouts from Facebook because of the publicity surrounding the animal. And, of course, one of those photos is, one of the photos in the HTLA Coffee and Cigarettes Friday Frappuccino Special Edition This Week in Pictures, which we actually covered that at the beginning of the show. In case you missed it, you can rewind and go check that out. The Week in Pictures. Yeah, we've got that there on HTLA Radio 1. Yeah, and if you believe that, well, there goes equality. Oh, there we go. Yes. Now the story does kind of actually move on to Disney. I mentioned them earlier as being excited for All Dogs Go to Heaven and their new sales. But I don't know. Are we getting a little nuts here? Yeah, Disney. Yes, Walt Disney, the Walt Disney Corporation, the company, the fine family of companies globally that seems to own everything or soon will. Well, they're soon going to have the money for it because I guess us sheep are actually paying for this. Yeah, Disney, for the first time ever, is charging an astonishing $8.99 to view an extended special edition Star Wars movie trailer. Are you kidding me? Yes. Yes, those little movie trailers that have been used historically since day one in the world of film to sell that film and make people want to go see it. Well, now you've got to pay $9 just to watch the trailer.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Yeah, you want $25,000. They want $9 for the extended trailer. Why don't you just put out an extended trailer of whatever film it is that you're working on right now, Louie, and charge $9 for it? You'll have that money in no time. Well, following the release of the highly anticipated Star Wars Episode 7 trailer, Disney announced today a paid 98-second special edition trailer being sold directly through Apple iTunes for $9. The free trailer is actually 88 seconds in length. But according to studio executives, there's a lot of great content in that extra 10 seconds. Oh, man, that means this show's here has got to be worth, what, $4 or $5 million every day? Oh, quote, "For $9, we got to give the consumer something," Disney marketing chief Donald Wayne told Variety. Yes, for $9, you got to give us something like 10 seconds of nothing. Yeah. We know our hardcore fans inside and out. We want it and are willing to pay through the nose, or they want it and are willing to pay through the nose for any drop of content. For the casual fan, our free trailer is suitable. Yeah. The company's goal, oh wow, get this. The company's goal is to sell 10 million downloads. Quote, "We are hoping to cover half the production budget on the paid trailer alone," Wayne said. 10 million worldwide is very attainable for a brand like Disney. Charging for creative content is what Disney is all about. If we can sell a t-shirt or a doll about an intellectual property, we own it to our stockholders to do it. Oh, isn't that nice? Wow. You know, I thought Walmart was bad. Star Wars creator George Lucas, and really I'm surprised at this man. George Lucas is an extreme humanitarian. He has given like huge entire fortunes away to charities and given no end. The man just gives. I mean, he gave us the whole Star Wars thing. He gave us all that. Well, okay. Technically, we paid for it, but he gave us the ability to do that because he had such a great product and he's a hell of a filmmaker. Well, he recently sold Lucasfilm to Walt Disney Corporation for $4 billion. With the purchase, Disney will make new films, theme park rides, and create new merchandising opportunities. With the coming death of DVD and Blu-ray sales, consumers will pay for a sneak peek, Wayne explains, and that help level the loss from our traditional businesses. And the merchandising revenues on this franchise are insane. But if we decided to sell these fans used sheets of toilet paper straight from George Lucas's butthole, there'd probably be a 90-day waiting list. Isn't that nice? I love corporate spokespeople who talk about literally selling us shit and we'll just line up for it. Although collectible toilet paper is yet to catch on, paid trailers are becoming the film studio's best friend. Jurassic Park is currently editing a new paid trailer that they plan on releasing to iTunes next week. Wow. Paid trailers. Real, let's see. Is this a time for another commentary crash? Oh, God, I want to. Well, no, I think I'll digress because two reasons. One, it's commercial time, and Jenny is waving at me like a little psychopath. And two, this is going to be one hell of a Crash Talker Film 101 next week. We'll be back in 2, gang.
You got it locked into New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shaved because you'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What?
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
The world is facing one of the biggest crises in the history of history. Girls are getting hotter and hotter. This is causing guys to lose their cool. It's happening everywhere. That's why the people at Axe have developed the new Axe Chill collection. It helps guys keep their cool before it's too late. Girls are getting hotter. Keep your cool with the new Chill collection from Axe.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
When you have cable and your picture freezes, you get irritable. When you get irritable, your work suffers. When your work suffers, the wrong man is convicted. When the wrong man is convicted, he has time to think. When he has time to think, he thinks about you a lot. And when he thinks about you a lot, your house explodes. Don't have your house explode. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1.
No, that's right. There is only one guy. Well, yeah, there's only one guy, but there's only one HTLA Radio 1 too. And you are listening to it this afternoon on Coffee and Cigarettes. Just up on 5 after 4 here in the old HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan. And still 37 degrees. Temperature holding nicely at ridiculously cold. And yeah, there you go. Not snowing currently on this December 12th yet, but you know it's coming. It's coming, damn it. Nothing we can do but just suck it up. So I hope you've enjoyed the first hour of the show so far today. Of course, Mondays and Fridays, we do run 90 minutes on the show here, so give you more crispy goodness. And I do have more stuff, of course, absolutely. And, yeah. Oh, that coffee. You gotta love that coffee. And, yeah, so, speaking of more things, I've got lots more things today. I've got Kardashian horrors. Yes, I do. From Kim and Kanye. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not just the butt doll either. This is worse stuff. A lot worse. But then, of course, I think I even have worse news than that in politics today. Because they've elected an Al-Qaeda member to California City Council, and I'm not kidding. No, not kidding. Hate to break it to you, but you get it all here at Coffee and Cigarettes, don't you? In the booth with me this afternoon, of course, is the lovely Jenny McCartney, and on the line via satellite is, of course, as always, the one, the only Louis Lawless, my film directing and television directing and acting coach, mentor, yes, the evil emperor himself of film and TV right there. Good old Captain Northside in a 1978 film, yes, The Planet of Dinosaurs. Yeah, we don't need any more music, Hunter. Yeah. Yeah, so let's get back at it here, because I got a bunch of nasty stuff for our last half hour today. And it's nasty. If your coffee's a little bitter, it's nowhere near as bitter as this segment coming up here. And thank you to CEO Kate, who just happily ran back down here into the studio, listening from her lofty executive office up on the 98th floor. And got me another cup of coffee. That's great. Thank you. I always run out on these hour-and-a-half days. That's the thing, see? I've got one big mug here, and it holds enough for an hour. I'm going to need another cup that holds enough for two, I think. Yeah, there we go. And Louis, the Academy Award-nominated director for the also 1978 film Manson, the first documentary on good old... No, not Marilyn Manson. No, on Charlie.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
Well, I know, but you know what? It was nominated. You got all kinds of awards everywhere else. The people are still watching it and talking about it on Netflix. So just relax. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yes, it did. And that was in 2008. Yes, go look that one up. It's a good one.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
You know, I think anybody who gave you $25,000 could be considered somebody who gave you a lot of help right there. Mm-hmm. But moving on, I've got bigger fish to fry right now, Louis, including an Al-Qaeda member who was recently elected to California City Council. This was on November 5th, 2014, and I'm just hearing about it now. An active member of Al-Qaeda has been elected to California City Council in an election that saw a record low voter turnout. Sidi Baba Bob al-Bui, who campaigned under the slogan, quote, "Call me Bob," for an open city council seat in the Los Angeles County, for the seat in the Argestic in Los Angeles County, with a tough-on-crime family values platform that indicates enacting Sharia law. It received 54.1%. Only 21.5% of the registered voters in the suburb of 5,300 voted in the election, keeping in line with low voter turnout throughout the region in the midterms. Bowie, who manages a county airfield, accredited his victory to the support of his family and members of his terrorist cell. Yeah, that means there's a bunch more of them in the county. Hello. Yeah. Low information voters and senior citizens who couldn't read or understand their ballots but still voted. I'm not surprised I won, really, he said. I'm a political outsider, and people really responded to my folksy Call Me Bob slogan. Yes, if there's anything to be said for branding, it's here. He says, I never hid the fact that I wanted to kill President Obama. I still do. And that actually seemed to help me with his approval ratings being what they are. Even better, the young black people and Latinos and single women in agrestic, I guess, Agrestic, yeah, I don't know, didn't even bother to vote, which always benefits us conservatives. Quite frankly, he added, most voters I spoke to just wanted me to promise I wouldn't raise taxes. Although local newspapers and Agrestic's small Muslim community, citing Bowie's fundamentalist views, encouraged voters to elect anyone but him. They had little influence with the residents, such as plumber Hank Schrader. Yeah, I heard the Los Angeles Times, said Bob, was an extremist and should be in prison instead of city council, he said, but the Times are a liberal rag anyway, so I always vote opposite of whatever they say. Looks like a political shake-up. Get it? Shake? Never mind. Okay. Instead of bombing Agrestic City Hall, as he originally planned, Bowie said he will work with the government to enact terrorist change. I bring fresh ideas to the city council, which is in need of new leadership, Bowie said. So my first priority will be to strip all power from the women on the council, including our woman mayor, and force them to wear full veils and to only vote when they have their husband's permission. I don't know. I kind of like that last part there. I would also like to set up a sister city relationships with Riyadh and Karachi and Khartoum. I have many colleagues in those cities, and they would benefit from a safe home base here in America. Yeah, not kidding. I also plan to work closely with the Agrestic Police Department in setting up Sharia law, which will include banning all music and drugs, forbidding adultery and sodomy, and cutting up... Wait, sodomy? Hey, what? I like sodomy. What the hell's going on here? We can't have that. And cutting off the hands of criminals. Huh, I actually like that too. Let's see all those G units go around and operate without hands. Huh. I don't know. This terrorist is making a lot of sense. Except for the sodomy thing. Sorry, I just can't. No, I can't go with you on that there. Nope. I think it will make Agrestic safer and bring down crime in the area. Well, God knows it would. Because, you can't be 50 Cent without holding your gack, and you can't hold your gack without your hands. There we go. Oh, do I want to do it? I don't want to do it. It's Kardashian stuff. Oh, but hey, at least it's not the Kardashian butt doll that I had to tell you all about yesterday. But it is more nasty news, yes, for all you non-Kim Kardashian fans out there, the ever-growing masses that join me in regular protest at the Capitol. Kim Kardashian makes $67 million for her nude butt photos. Yes. She earned $67 million for her nude butt photos that appeared in Paper magazine. According to a source close to the situation, it's a situation, yeah. $7 million was paid up front to the... Wow, really? They're going to call her this? Actress? Really? Yeah. Okay, you know what? Oh my God, this is another opinion time. Where's my crash talk? I need my crash talk. $7 million was paid up front to the actress with the remaining $60 million being paid out over the next 10 years. What? The enormous sum of money is being paid for just 1 day of photography, and it didn't actually take 1 day. It was 6 hours. Our formula for the payout was very simple. $1 million for every pound of ass. Explains Jonathan Perry. The total came to $67 million. Not bad for one afternoon's worth of work. It's like the baseball contract for butts. He goes on to say he can see this taking off in Hollywood. Kardashian told TMZ, I know my butt's worth it, and it's a butt load. It's my top asset. No, you little moron. Your top asset is supposed to be your chest. When asked why she agreed to be photographed naked, she replied, quote, I'm very happy to know I'll be leaving my mark on the world, and it's something that will inspire kids. The body is a beautiful thing, and getting paid for it is even more beautiful. Are you kidding me? What the? Yes, Kate's listening. Can't say that word. Yes. Because if there's any role model out there that I want for my kids, it's Kim Kardashian. There you go. And no, actually, more specifically, it's any of them, including Kanye West, who's heading up the next story here on Coffee and Cigarettes today. Kim Kardashian recently made over $70 million from her iPhone app that lets users stroll around Beverly Hills making microtransactions for virtual goods. While she can't program or design applications, her brand name made the simple game an overnight hit. There's no hope for this country. I'm sorry. There's nothing.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
I know, but screw them all. I'm going back to Canada.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Well, and there's sex in Canada. And hey, it's not California and Canada, so we can actually have bum sex there. Yeah. The only thing bigger than Kim's butt is her brand, said Perry. Wait until you see Kim's next cry for attention and money. Let's call it a butt on steroids. It will make Kanye look humble in comparison. Well, for that $67 million, Paper Magazine got to break the internet, apparently. Paper Magazine launched in 1984 and focuses on fashion, apparently, nightlife, apparently, and other information people in their 20s focus on, apparently. Wow, if that's what 20-year-olds are focusing on, this country is screwed in 20. While the focus is on New York City, it has expanded over the years. Their website now reaches the hip and fabulous people in all major global cities. Really? Hip and fabulous liking this stuff? Okay. Co-founder and editor David Hershevitz told Yahoo News, we may go bankrupt, but it's well worth the risk. If you didn't know of Paper Magazine before, you sure do after this week. We are banking the entire business on Kim's butt. Web traffic for their website skyrocketed and users shared the link like mad. Time will tell if the publicity for the bare body photos will serve the magazine well. Hershevitz noted that Kim's butt was a pleasure to work with, didn't care much for the mom. Although the large sum of money comes as a shock to some, most Americans agree that the money is well earned. I'm so happy for her, says Nadine Johnson, a homeless mother of 2 living in Detroit. She says, I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. And going from bad to worse, as promised, Kanye. I have a better butt than Kim Kardashian. Kanye West claimed today that he has a better-looking butt than his wife Kim Kardashian. In an interview this morning on Chicago rap station WGYN, the singer was asked about Kim's recent photo shoot for Paper Magazine that highlighted her famous ass. His response revealed a clear annoyance about losing the spotlight to his media-savvy spouse. He says, quote, I don't understand why everyone's focusing on Kim's booty, he said. Obviously, I love her ass. That's why I married her. But nobody has an ass like mine. if I have the top 3 asses of all time? My booty is like Michelangelo level, you feel me? It's like a sculpture. It's like something that should be sitting in a museum for thousands and thousands of years. Kim? Well, she's got a nice ass, but it's not that level. The media hates me, he says. That's why they're ignoring my butt and putting all their attention on Kim's. It's the only explanation that makes any sense. Well, shocked by West's apparent disses of his wife, host Matt Mitchell challenged his logic. Kanye, why does all the attention have to be on you, he asked. Don't you think you should be supportive of your wife's success? Kanye says, whatever, I guess. All I'm saying is that I'm comparing my ass to Kim's is like comparing a Ferrari to a Mercedes. It's not like a Mercedes is a bad car, but it's no Ferrari. A spokesperson for West declined comment on the matter. Calls to Kardashian's publicist have gone unreturned.
He called me, and he called me, and he kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah. Well, you know, when Kanye West gets around to calling me, I won't be answering his phone either. Now we're going to go for our last commercial break, then we're going to come back with some, I promise, nothing like this. So I'm glad you sat through it with me. I won't do this to you anymore if I can possibly freaking help it in any way, shape, or form. Oh, dear God, forgive me. Back in 2.
You got it locked into New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1, New York.
So do you guys think being fast is better than being slow?
Yes! It's better to be fast, to not be bitten by a werewolf, and then you'll be turned into one, and you'll have to stay in, and then you'll have to get shaved because you'll be too hot, and then you're like, which means I wish I was back to a human.
What? It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network for your iPhone 5.
The world is facing one of the biggest crises in the history of history. Girls are getting hotter and hotter. This is causing guys to lose their cool. It's happening everywhere. That's why the people at Axe have developed the new Axe Chill collection. It helps guys keep their cool before it's too late. Girls are getting hotter. Keep your cool with the new Chill collection from Axe.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
When you have cable and your picture freezes, you get irritable. When you get irritable, your work suffers. When your work suffers, the wrong man is convicted. When the wrong man is convicted, he has time to think. When he has time to think, he thinks about you a lot. And when he thinks about you a lot, your house explodes. Don't have your house explode. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
For the best talk, there's only one. HTLA Radio 1.
That's right. There is only one, and you got it locked right here. HTLA Radio 1, New York City, 37 degrees in Central Park, and guess what? Guess what? I'm not even kidding. The clouds have dispersed. The sun is out. Yes, it's cleared up over the city in the last 20 minutes. I guess that's because of my announcement that all creatures are God's creatures and they have souls and they're going to heaven too. Yes. I don't know, but it just seems a little weird. It's just cleared right up. It's kind of eerie, scary. Yeah, so again, this episode, the Friday Frappuccino, is, of course, brought to you in part by Tim Hortons New York City, with its 8 fine locations to service your coffee and baked goods needs. And if you haven't gone yet, if you're maybe a diehard Dunkin' Donuts fan or a Krispy Kreme maniac, you should give them a try. You know, Canada doesn't suck as much as everybody likes to think. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, I got to apologize for the last segment. It's, Jenny kind of dishes up the stories in order there, and the double shot of Kardashian horror just hit us in the face, and it wasn't good, and I apologize for that. I hate that. But it's over now, and, I don't know, now we can get on to more exciting things in this last few minutes of the show today. And I guess not the least of which would be, how about a cigarette that's actually good for you? Huh? Yeah, let's do that. Let's end today's show on some good news. Yeah. I want to do it. That's what we're going to do. As always, joining us in the HTLA studios today, via satellite, of course, as always, because, it's cost him $1,000 every time he flies out here. We have the awesome Academy Award-nominated director, filmmaker, television maker with Stephen J. Cannell Productions in the 80s, and just a huge, long career in Hollywood. He's just an awesome man. Louis Lawless joining us from Mill Bay Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't.
I know, and that's why you're here on my show. There we go. So let's talk about that good news. Well, that good news is healthy cigarettes. Yeah, not even kidding. Marlboro introduces vitamin-infused cigarettes. Yes, in a beautiful new package with the rainbow flag on it. Oh, it's good for all those homosexuals out there. Yes, the Vitarettes. The Marlboro Tobacco Company has introduced vitamin-infused cigarettes called Vitarettes. The company says it's targeting the health-conscious smoker as the safer, more nutritious way to smoke. Not all chemicals are bad, and we added a bunch of good ones, said Marlboro's spokesman Virginia Reynolds. She told this to Cigar Aficionado in a release today. Anecdotal studies show smoking vitamins give your skin a healthy glow and can stave off the flu. Parent company Philip Morris started the cigarettes taste amazingly refreshing while being Vitatastic. There's a new word for today on Coffee and Cigarettes, Vitatastic. Yeah. The new tobacco smoking product comes at a time when vapor, smokeless nicotine has become popular among young adult idiots. Okay, it doesn't say idiots, I threw that in. The healthy cigarettes filled with antioxidants are aimed at luring those vapor smokers back to flavor country. That's right, get back to flavor country. Oh, but this is kind of silly. The new flavors for the vitamin cigarettes include, quote, Bubblicious. I hope that's not a Kim Kardashian cigarette brand. Mountain Green Fresh and Pina Colada. These new flavors will cost 25% more, but they claim to provide many antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, 250% of your daily need for B12, and 65% calcium of your daily allowance. Branding an unhealthy product is healthy by adding small amounts of vitamins and has worked wonders for sugar water purifier, vitamin water, and Philip Morris's hopes it can, too, restore some of that magic to tobacco. This will be the biggest thing to tobacco since menthol, said Reynolds, who has time to eat an orange when you can smoke a quick cigarette. Marketing documents reveal the vitamin cigarettes are great after the gym and perfect for a midnight snack. It's a Flintstones vitamin stick, she says. Well, there it is. That is your Coffee and Cigarettes Friday Frapp for this Friday afternoon, December 12th. Hope you've enjoyed the show. And where's my music, Janie? Come on! There we go. Just want to say thank you to HTLA Radio 1, as always, for having us here and keeping you all caffeinated and nicotined up. And, check out that website, HTLAradio1.com. Lots of good stuff there, including a big wet fish of Christmas to smack you in the face. That's right. Well, I hope everybody has a good weekend. We will catch you back here Monday, Coffee and Cigarettes, 3 p.m. Eastern. And, happy holidays to everybody from HTLA Radio 1.
You got it locked into New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1, New York.